That's what we're about to begin right now. It would be helpful if everybody could get seated and be somewhat quiet. This is a very dangerous stunt. If you could get seated, and you might want to listen up. All right, Josh, what are we doing here, man?
All right, guys, are you guys ready for this? Now listen, it would help me out a lot if I could get really silent, okay? Because this is very dangerous, and I'm going to be explaining some rules to a volunteer who's going to help me out, okay? But I need maybe an adult, maybe a guy, adult who can help me out or something. What's that? Yeah, can you help me out? What's up? What's your name? Ryan. Ryan, here's what we're gonna do. We got a police officer here who's gonna be checking the locks and make sure everything's real. Here's your job, okay? Guys, listen up. Listen up. Shh. I want to explain some things to you, okay? The locks that we're going to use are military locks, okay? The reason we know this is for this reason. On each lock, there comes 2 keys that has serial numbers embedded on the front. Can you see those serial numbers?
Yeah.
Okay. Anytime you get a lock, it comes with 2
Hold up, guys. Hold up. Hold up.
Listen, I'm going to explain some rules in just a second. It's going to get pretty serious, all right? I need some concentration. So what we're using military locks, and each key has a serial number on them, and it matches the serial number on the lock. Now there's only 2 keys that come with each lock in the entire world, okay? So here's what we're going to do. They're going to lock me up in all these locks and rigs and all that kind of stuff, and then you're going to get both copies to each lock, okay? So that way you know I'm not just unlocking myself or something like that. So you get to hang on to every lock that goes on me. You get both copies, okay? So the first one goes to the outside. The only copy you don't get is these 2 that go to the outside lock. And the reason that is because they're gonna lock me up. I'm gonna get inside and they're gonna shut the door, okay? They're gonna lock it, and then they're gonna slip these 2 keys into me. The only 2 keys in the entire world that open this outside lock are gonna be inside with me. So, that means I'm gonna have to get out of the chains, reach down to the bottom of the tank, pick up these 2 keys, and slip them back out so that Brad can take them and unlock to my freedom, okay? So I'm completely responsible if something goes wrong. Because if something goes wrong, there's no way they can get inside to me. Because I have the only 2 keys that will open this lock. Does that make sense? Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to begin here in just a second. They're going to go ahead and lock me up. Now this takes a few minutes. If I can just have your attention, it's going to get pretty serious in just a second. But the police officer here is going to check, make everything's locked and secure, and then we're going to get started here.
All right, guys, this is serious stuff. Josh is an illusionist, but there's no illusion about this. He's going to definitely be locked up, and you're going to see him here in a second that this is full of water. Come here and check this out. You see it's full of water, right? Okay. But of course, when he gets in, there's a little bit of space, but when he gets in, the water's going to be all the way to the top. And you're going to see that.
Okay, first we're going to check my feet, the leg cuffs. Okay, go ahead and check those, make sure those are on tight.
They're tight.
They're tight, okay.
All right, hold this, man.
You guys are going to notice something about these handcuffs. These don't look like regular handcuffs, and that's why they're not. These are used by the military to keep people locked tight. You see there's a bar, and you see that bar that goes in between my hands? That keeps me from reaching over to the other side of the hand to be able to pick the locks or anything like that. So these are secure. These are called Woodson handcuffs. There's not very many people who can get out of these. Houdini is actually not on that list. Okay, so go ahead and check this. Make sure it's tight. Make sure it's tight around my neck. Make sure that's real metal. It's real tight. Tight. Check my neck, make sure that won't go over my head.
They're tight and secure.
All right, guys, he's ready. Are you ready? This is the real deal. No joke about this. This is serious stuff. Why don't you hold that? All right, Connorsville, you guys ready for this? Did you explain the time deal? All right, listen up. Here's what's going to happen. As soon as I shut that lid, it's full of water. And what happens?
Yeah, it'll be so full you'll actually see some of the water spill out. Like when you put ice cubes in a cup, it gets so full it's actually going to spill out. Just to prove to you guys that it's so full it's overflowing. Now here's the thing. This usually takes me about 1 minute and 10 seconds to get out. Okay? About 1 minute 10 to 1 minute 20, depending on how I'm doing in there. Now listen, there's going to be music playing while this is going on. If it were to get to 1 minute and 35 seconds, that means I don't have very much time left because I can only hold my breath for a certain amount of time. If it gets to 1 minute and 40 seconds, an alarm would go off. And that alarm would tell me that I've got about 10 seconds of air left, okay? And if it were to get to that point, the alarm would be really loud, and that lets me know from inside the tank, due to adrenaline and other components, just to keep my mind right, keep my mind sharp, that I've got about 10 seconds. If it were to get to that point, it'd be 1 minute and 40 seconds, but I typically get out of it in about 1 minute and 10 seconds to 1 minute and 20, somewhere through there. We're not going to let it get to that far. But if it does, if you hear that noise, that's what it is, but we won't let it get to that far. So are you guys ready for this? Feel free to hold your breath along with me. That would help me out.
I want you to start that right when I close that, all right? Just hit start. All right, silence. Here we go. Shh. Here we go. All right, here we go. Been in there 30 seconds. It's been in there almost 1 minute. 1 minute. Minute 20. Minute 30. I want you guys give it up for Josh Jordan. Here we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Come on, Connorsville, one more time. Just give him a hand. Good job, bro. Are you guys ready for the high flying action of the Real Encounter BMX team? You guys